a little bit about yourself. What's your name? What do you currently do? And what shaped who you are today?
I'm Jeriel Rolando P. Alberto Jr. II. You can just call me TJ for short. Currently, I'm working maritime industry as an instructor. So, I'm privately employed. So, I handle courses, mainly safety courses and usage of planned maintenance system software. Aside from that, yung function ko rin is I also update training materials, uh, parang nagiging ambassador din ako of sorts kasi yung seafarers ang lumalapit sa akin usually kasi ako yung una nilang para bang point of contact. Isa sa mga pinakauna na lalapitan.
You're like their
So,
guiding light.
hopefully maging guiding light talaga. Hopefully. What shaped who am I today? Siguro a lot of siguro family background, things that I didn't want to happen when I form a family, yun yung growing in a single mother household, yung time ko as a varsity as track and field athlete, yun shape me a lot kasi doon nabuo yung discipline ko na I have to do the things that I don't really want to do or I find difficult doing so that later on yung magagawa ko yung it was the foundation that was later on reinforced nung lumipat ako ng college sa MAAP.
Yeah.
So, yung nag-take ako ng marine engineering, nung college life, yun yung may pinakamalaking influence sa akin kasi from then on kasi yun, nag-work, the outlook in life, marami siyang in-instill kasi it eased me into independence
Yeah.
of sorts.
So I
Yeah,
feel like we can delve more into like what those things are. My question is, what has been one of the biggest challenges you faced in life and how did you overcome it?
siguro yung one of the first, yung mga challenges ko is so, ang dami eh. Pero, let's start with yung health. Kasi may hika ako ng bata, di ba?
Yeah.
Nihihiraman tayo ng nebulizer nun. So, ayun, yung I had to overcome it. Kasi syempre, you want to do a lot of stuff. You want to do things. Paglaro ka sa labas, ma-enjoy mo yung childhood mo, pero kasi lagi sinisipon, hindi ka pwedeng mapawisan ng matuyuan ng pawis.
Yes.
I was able to overcome that nung naging athlete ako nung high school. Yung mother ko, against my wishes, ayaw niya.
Talaga? How
Hesitant siya.
come?
Hesitant siya kasi nga, baka mamaya magkasakit ako.
I see.
And nagkakasakit naman talaga ako.
Yeah.
Especially when yung mga sumampa na yung burn months, kasi lumalamig na yun eh. Tapos ang suot pa namin sa track and field, kailangan magaan at manipis. Pero nagulat siya dun kasi was still able to perform. Dahil nung nakapag-varsity ako, yung pinaka-goal ko kasi is makakuha lang ng scholarship. Kasi yun yung,
I
it spills
see.
over to yung education na single parent household. Tapos, syempre alam mong hindi kayo mayaman. So, you have to find ways to contribute. So,
Oh.
yun, yung education. Hindi naman sobrang challenge yung education. Pero kasi yung taking into account na baka mamaya hindi ako makapagtapos dahil kinulang kami sa pera. Ayaw ko naman nun.
Yeah.
So, varsity, then syempre varsity ka, physical exhaustion. Buti na lang may support like medicine na nakakuha kami ng libre. Yun yung
Mm.
dun eh. So somehow it worked itself out. Then again, education for college, hindi lang talaga ako pinalad na maka-qualify nun sa national. So sabi ko pag hindi ako maka-qualify sa nationals, it means hindi para sa akin to. It
Oh.
means I'm not cut for that level of athleticism na yung that level of competition. So yun yung isa sa mga parang I thought I was unstoppable in high school. I thought
Yeah.
I can really push myself. Pero parang sabi ko, after this, hindi. I have to be honest with myself eh.
Oh,
So,
no. I didn't know that. I thought you just stopped.
yeah, I stopped. Pero yung deeper doon kasi, di ba, lilipat ako ng Bataan. So, para bang ang doon, yung binigay kasi sa akin choices, you stay in UST, magbabayad kayo ng tuition, kasi you'll have to quit,
Mm-mm.
maghanap ka na iba namang paraan, mag-working student ka, then wala pang assurance sa may trabaho ka right after. Yung binigay sa akin choice is, pumasok ka dito sa school na after you graduate, may trabaho ka kaagad, kikita ka ng dolyar, you'll be staying at the school, hindi magpapakain si mama ng tao dito.
I
Hindi
see.
siya mag-asikaso ng tao dito.
And MAAP is that school is
Maritime Academy of Asia in the Pacific.
I see. Yes, yes.
So, So yun yung mga challenges nun, yung growing up.
Mm-mm.
Yun yung how I overcome it is, umaga parang ano ewan ko ba, siguro divine providence yung matatawag doon na there
Yeah.
were really signs. I could safely say back then na ito yung mga sign na huwag ka nang tumuloy dyan. Seek
Pero
elsewhere.
I want to explore that more. So, like, what I know from being an athlete and trying to pursue that into going into MAAP, was there like a specific moment where you were like, oh, okay, it's time to like face the music, change my path in life?
Alam ko yung katawan ko So, yung cycle ko ng hika, start siya ng bare months.
Mm-mm.
However, yung year na yun, after ko graduate ng high school, hinika na ako.
Oh.
Kasi mga around October, November, pinaka-ano yan, prominent.
Mm.
So, that year, after ko graduate nung high school, 3 times akong hinika in between. August yung last. Hindi na ako nakapaglaro ng UAAP nun. Or hindi na ako naka-attend kasi nga may hika na ako nun. So, kumbaga para bang tinetaper off na ako. So, parang August, May, and before that, ang ano na nararamdaman ko na tawag ko is hindi na siya nagre-respond na na dun sa training. Parang feeling ko nagde-deteriorate yung performance ko.
Oh no.
Kaya, yun yung naging sa akin, yun yung naging wake up call na hindi ka actually doon pa lang sa doon pa lang sa hindi ako naka-qualify ng nationals. Sabi ko, this might be it. Pero sige, tingnan natin kasi may mga schools pa rin naman nakukuha sa akin my performance in UAAP will still matter.
Yeah.
Pero after that, hinika ako. Then, 3 times ako hinika before mag-Burman. So sabi ko, it's a sign.
I see.
Sabi na ako sa coach ko, kailangan ko po magpahinga. Sabi ng doktor, kasi nga, hinika po ako ng sunod-sunod.
Yeah.
Then, tinapos ko lang yung taon nun sa UST.
And I guess
Siyempre,
how was that for you, like emotionally? Because I know this was a big part of your life.
inevitable siya na naramdaman mo na you cannot keep up anymore. Pag ipipilit mo pa, masasaktan ka lang lalo. Para bang madali ko na-recognize yung signs. So sabi ko, okay, siguro tapos na yung phase ng buhay ko na maging athlete, na makuha yung scholarship for this. It serves its purpose. So, I have to go elsewhere. Sakto, may offer nga yung Bataan, yung MAAP,
Yeah.
that I'll be a scholar without having to be a varsity.
And how did that happen? How did you get that offer?
Si uncle ko, yung uncle ko had contact sa industry. So sabi niya, may contact ako doon, take ka ng exam, na-late na ako ng take ng exam noon. Imbis sa batch 2010 ako, dapat batch 2010 ako. Then, naging batch 2011 ako. So, nag-skip pa ako ng 1 year. So, 1 year sa UST, then balik ako ng first year sa MAAP. So, yun yung nangyari. In fairness, sabi ko, sige, we'll take it. Sabi, academy. So, I had no idea kung ano. Niwasan ko yung ROTC C80 nung high school sa college, nga varsity ako, tas magulat ako papasok ako sa ganung school. Pero sabi ko, okay, it's a new challenge, it's a new horizon. Sige lang, go lang tayo dyan. Doon na nag-start na another set of challenges naman kasi totally unfamiliar. Hindi ko alam yung industry, didn't know anything about it. There's a lot of things na hindi ko alam. Pero, day by day. Sige lang.
I feel like madaming nangyari from high school to college and then to now. But like with everything that has happened, what accomplishment are you most proud of and why?
From high school, syempre accomplishment ko, medals, beyond the medals. Ang accomplishment ko nun was I was able to secure a scholarship that gave me avenues. Kumukuha sa akin doon, LaSalle, UP, UST for high school. So, kumbaga, ang mother ko, hindi siya nahirapan dahil walang choices. Nahirapan kami dahil nga may mga choices. All of them were great choices. Then, pang-apat pa yung MAAP. Yung accomplishment ko rin yung nakapasok doon at nakapagtapos ako sa MAAP. Could say that, na maganda naman yung naging performance ko doon sa school. I was able to secure an international job early on through my working years out at CM. I could say na I think yung accomplishment is not on the title kasi nawala na yung shift ko from focusing on titles on focusing on impact Ang naging accomplishment ko throughout the years is I think I can say that I made some right decisions, unconventional right decisions Like, yung tumigil ako ng 20 for my own mental health, physical, actually for my health na lang kasi mental
And
and physical health talagang nag-down nung ano na
tumigil
yun eh.
ng what? What did you stop?
I stopped sailing.
Oh, I see.
Tumigil ako nun. Ko, hindi, I will quit this. Ayoko nang bumalik sa pagbabarko kasi nga it's not anymore serving me. Don't see any growth here. My health is deteriorating, both mental and physical health.
Yeah.
Parang nagkaroon, again, may lumabas na naman na sign eh. May lumabas na sign na sabi ko, my parents are getting old. What if magkasakit sila? And I'm not here. Wala
Yeah,
mag-aalaga.
that's
Or
true.
mahirapan mag-alaga yung sister ko. So, decided to stop. Then, I think yung biggest achievement ko doon is I was able to be here nung nagkasakit sila.
Oh, yeah. Okay, now another question. What is something that you're passionate about that has influenced your journey so far?
I'm passionate about a lot of things.
Mm-mm.
Siguro syempre yung health. I'm passionate about health. That's why nag-extend siya nung, 'di ba, bata, athlete kasi nga may hika ako. No? I want to overcome that. Growing up, nung nagkaroon na ako ng nagtatrabaho ako sa barko, hindi ko naman magagawa yung basketball or running back then. So I had to shift, sabi ko. Hindi na makakasakay ng barko kung kung mababa yung physical health ko eh. So, una, nag-bodybuilding ako for say a few years para lang makasampa dun sa requirements.
Yeah.
Then after that, martial arts, very passionate about it. Imagine more than 10 years na ako nagba-martial arts. Pero hindi naman at a level na sobrang competitive, but something that I can use whenever I want to use it or whenever it's needed. I'm passionate about animals, especially animal rescue, though hindi ko na nagagawa yung volunteerism ngayon. So maraming ginagawa. More of na lang ako talaga nilalapitan ako ng mga tao if they know that I have dogs. They're going to ask how to handle a dog, what dog to get, ano yung
I
mga
know. And how
kailangan.
many dogs do you have right now?
9.
That's wonderful. And at one point, what was the most amount of dogs you've had in your place? Do you know?
17. Yung
Oh,
adults
wow.
17.
Yeah, it really feels like that's a lot of labor of love talaga, just caring for
Oo.
like
Oo.
that many dogs. I mean, 9 is still like such a big number as well. I can barely take care of myself. What more?
When you have my time. Ganda yung advocacy na yun. Yung against animal cruelty, animal rights. What else? I'm passionate about education. Kaya ang ko ngayon is instructor ako eh. I'm passionate about it, especially sa industry namin kasi there's a lot of holes doon sa educational system. Things that, alam mo yung gusto mong ayusin pero hindi mo magawa. Ako nakapagturo ako sa company. I apply some rules there. I apply sa certain theories or nung nakapagturo ako din talaga sa school, which has also had a great impact on me kasi ang achievement ng isang instructor or isang educator is when you see the people that you taught actually prosper and they actually use what they learned from you. So, meron akong dalawang estudyante na nakapasok ngayon sa company namin and I'm invested in their career kasi syempre, tinuruan ko yan dati sa school nila. They were able to apply sa company namin kasi nung naglabas ako ng, apply kayo dito kasi naghanap kami ng cadets. Nakapasok sila after a year. Kasi nagkaroon ng selection. So, na second choice sila. Pero nakapasok pa rin naman after that. Ngayon, nakasakay na sila sa barko. And
Wow.
looks like they're living their best life. So, kumbaga para bang yung achievement mo kasi as an instructor, hindi siya instant. You'll see it years from now. Na masasabi mo na yes, you did the right thing.
Yeah.
Ayun. Yun yung and yun yung what influenced my journey kasi syempre, as an instructor, yung someone who is passionate about education, kailangan mo i-apply sa sarili mo muna yung tinuturo mo. You cannot just simply spout this and not apply it to yourself. Say you're not going to be credible in any way. People will believe you kasi nga they see that you are doing it.
Yeah.
You're leading by example. Isa sa mga hindi ko talaga buong dalawang semester na hawakan yung ibang students. Like, some of them I've only handled for 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Some of them. For 2 weeks lang. Pero crash course kasi yun. Dito sa PMI. One of the students
What's
sent me a
PMI?
message. Philippine Maritime Institution.
I
Yun
see.
dito sa sa Roosevelt. So, anong nangyari? I handled some of the students. I gave them the attention that I usually give dun sa yung mga regular students ko in other schools. You'd be surprised on how starved they are for the attention of an instructor. You know they want to learn. Pero kasi alam mo syempre pag bata, alam mo yung they want to take the easy way out. If hindi sila mahirapan, gagawin nila. Pero that time, nung the attention was given to them, felt as if I was teaching them for the whole year. Kasi yung isa, after nung namin, na nag-apply na sila sa mga company, yung isa tumawag sa akin, "Sir, kailangan kita makausap. I need your help. I need your advice." So sabi ko, sige, go ahead. This is from cadet. Ang nangyayari kasi usually is from cadet, wala ka pa license. You graduate from school, you get your license. You go back to the company, doon ka muna nila ng breaking in period like junior officer before maging full-fledged officer, then increase ka na rank. Ito, he was promoted from a cadet straight to an officer. Tumawag siya sa akin, sabi, "Sir, kinakabahan ako. Don't feel that this is right." Para bang it's too early. Sabi ko, sige, okay. Yes, ka ba talaga yan? Kasi kahit ako noon ang dami kong kulang. And I cannot act like an officer yet. I need that breaking in period. So sabi ko sa kanya, however, sino bang nag-promote sa'yo? Sabi yung company. Sabi ko sa kanya, the company, pag wala siyang tiwala sa'yo, kahit ikaw na lang yung natitirang seaman dyan, maghahanap pa siya ng iba outside. Someone they don't know. Wala tiwala sa'yo. And trust me, they do that. Kasi naging recruitment officer ako. So meaning, the company is looking for people na galing sa ibang barko, galing sa ibang company, at papasakay nila. 'Di ba? So sabi ko, look, hindi naman you're just really promoted. Ano alam mo? Which is tama naman. That's why, what you have to do is, pakisamahan mo yung mga tao sa paligid mo. Mag-aral ka pa rin. You read the manuals, be polite. Don't be arrogant. Di dahil official ka, but you seek their opinion, you seek, timbangin mo. Kasi tutulungan ka niyan eh. If they see that you're someone that's not big-headed, yung humble ka, and you listen, they will help you. They will go out of their way to help you.
Yeah.
After that, nabiliwanagan yung bata. Sabi, okay sir, sige, kukunin ko to. Sabi ko, balitaan mo ako kasi this is definitely an achievement.
Yeah.
Who would have thought, diba? Yun lang, di pa ako nababalitaan ng bata. So, I might check up on him next time. Pero yun yung one of the things na
I know he's already like super comfortable with his office role. Next question. Given like everything that you've gone through with life, what are some valuable life lessons that you've learned through this journey?
It's not going to come from the big moments. Sa totoo lang. Yung realizations actually come from the small moments. Especially during failure. Yun lang ang nakita ko. Yung basic sin failure in life, like failure in your careers, failure in your personal relationships, failure in your ventures, mga ganyan.
And what's the lesson there when you fail in these things?
You'll have to pick yourself up because no one else will pick yourself up for you. And the world is actually more forgiving than you might think. You being still here means that the world has forgiven you. Yes, sometimes may consequences, pero you still get to do things. You still make up for it, 'di ba? Yeah, you have a lot of regrets, hindi lang pala some. 'Di ba? I should have not trusted this kind of people. I should have done this, done that. Pero kasi in retrospect, doon mo lang malalaman yun eh. You could only make decisions kung anong meron kang information at the moment eh. You have limited access to that eh. The world is more forgiving than you might initially imagine. Saka those realizations come from the small moments. Yung later on, it will dawn on yung pagising mo sa umaga, ganito pala buhay ko. Ganon. And yeah, failures. Yeah, the failures build you up.
Okay, so I know we're talking about failures and the lessons from that, pero what naman inspires you to keep going, or who inspires you?
Siguro before meeting my fiancé, what kept me going was my parents. Yung were parents. Promise them na alagaan ko sila eh. So I basically promise people that I will take care of them. So if I'm gone, who's going to take care of them? So again, para bang yung minsan yung nag-autopilot ako. You can put aside your personal, ano muna, your personal needs. Kasi someone needs you more. And when I met my fiancé, and relationship namin opened a lot of things. Yeah, my needs are still important. Someone needs you more than anybody. Hindi ka pwede mawala, hindi ka pwedeng ma-down. Yun yung what inspires me. I promise that I'll take care of them. Kumbaga, ang sa akin, lagi yung sinasabi ng girlfriend ko sa akin, ang fiancé ko, you're always so duty bound. Pagdating sa'yo kasi when it comes to duty, alam mo yung you can't stop doing it. Talagang compelled ka talaga eh. So I think yun yung pagkaka-frame na what inspires me. Kasi it makes me really move talaga. Even to suffer for it. Yun.
But I guess one of the things that really inspire me is that, like, first and foremost, you really didn't want to burden your mom. And so you really looked for ways in order for her not to worry about your tuition fee, or like even living outside of the Philippines and traveling, just so that you could make sure that they have a roof over their house. I mean, there's something about those things that really inspire me, and that's why when I know what I know about you, and when you say that, oh, this is something that I want to do, like, you really do it to like 1,000%, like not just 100. You give your everything, and sometimes I don't do that. I get lazy. But like what I know of you, you're like, no, kahit na you're bleeding, you're still gonna do it, you know?
Kaya siguro yun yung self-sacrifice na minsan toxic trait din eh. Kasi nga, well, get lazy too. A lot of times, actually, there's a lot of times na I would have already given up. There's a lot of times that I really wanted to give up. Kasi talagang end. That's it. Pero I think, yun eh, life is cruel that way. You have people who crave life, who wants to live, and they don't get to live at all afterwards. And people who suddenly doesn't want to live life anymore. I mean, when you seek, yung tinatawag na when you're seeking death already, when you're seeking your end. Life is cruel na buhay ka afterwards. Even if, no matter how much you wish, no matter how much you drive yourself into that, life is cruel like that. Na may times ayaw mo na, tigil ka na, gusto mo na asin, tapos sa lahat. But tomorrow, you'll still wake up, you're going to do the things that you do. Diba? Tapos meron mga tao the opposite, that they want to live, they fight so hard to live, then suddenly the life is snuffed out of them. I guess it's not just the time for that, pero you see, I think yun yung isa sa mga sa akin yung nagpa-mellow sa akin sa buhay. You said that I do things 1,000%. Yes, I do, but not all the time. Sometimes you just have to take a step back, pahinga ka, then you do that 1,000%. Magpahinga ka kasi you're going to need.
Rest is very important. Well, is there like any quote or mantra or beliefs that you live by?
First is, what doesn't kill me had better start running. It's a metaphor, di ba? Yung what doesn't kill me makes me stronger. Yung sa akin naman, what doesn't kill me had better start running. So, I will come back definitely. I'll come back and I'll definitely conquer. Though sometimes it's harder to instantly do. Pero, yeah, that's one. Tapos, yung second is, pain shared is not pain doubled, but pain halved. It's an important line to me kasi, yung for so long, yung susuluhin mo yung pain, yung hirap ng buhay. Then, magtataka ka bakit ang hirap ng lahat. Tapos, people will come into your life who's going to willingly share the suffering. Dahil nga ayaw mo sila mag-suffer, susuluhin mo pa rin. But that way, you are dishonoring them kasi you're not letting them in, you're not letting them do what they want to do wholeheartedly. Siyempre, you let them share the pain, you let them be there for you, and the load definitely becomes a lot lighter. Napaka-crucial niyan kasi every year, pahirap ang buhay. Diba? May nabasa akong theory that the world ended in 2013. That's why after 2013, parang ang pahirap lagi. Yeah. Then the last line is, being a man is knowing where you are needed the most. So I think that's something substantial. Alam mo kung saan ko nakuha to? This came from Soka, Water Tribe. Avatar, The Last
Oh,
Airbender.
yes, yes.
Yes. Ano siya, mabigat siya dahil when you look at the conventional yung manhood, that ikaw yung dapat nasa forefront, ikaw yung nangunguna lahat. You're supposed to be a leader.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true. Pero kasi not all the times eh. There are times when you're needed elsewhere and you let somebody else take the front. So, being a man or just being a person in his right mind, in their right mind, would recognize that hindi mauna dapat yung pride. So, you do the things that doesn't require pride. You go where you're needed. Kasi kaya ka nga needed dun eh. It means that there are people who are waiting for you who will be depending on you. Lives depend on you. So whatever that task may be, do it wholeheartedly.
Now, I would like to know what for you is the definition of a remarkable life?
Siguro, ang remarkable life para sa akin, siguro yung natutunan ko na lang din living my life and seeing the lives of others is, a remarkable life is a life that you call your own. A life that's governed by your decisions. Yung na-honor mo yung freedom. You're not dancing to the tune of someone else. You're not chasing titles because you want to validate yourself sa ibang tao. A life that you can say that I made this, and a life that has a positive impact, not just to yourself but to others. And you don't need to make an impact to everyone. It's just a byproduct if you have an impact with a greater circle. But there are people in your lives that matter. If they have a positive life, more positive life by your presence, then that's a remarkable life for me. Kasi ayoko naman i-discount yung mga taong yung seemingly objectively parang wala silang nagawa sa buhay nila. No. They have contributed somewhere. And they don't know that someone who's wildly successful would attribute their success just because they met this person na nakausap nila for a while. So, not to discount that. So, kumbaga, vicariously ba? So, yun. That's what I call a remarkable life. Yung a life that you've made, a life that you've made by your decisions, whatever consequence, and a life that has contributed positively to your own and to others.
Now, I know it feels like you've already gone through a lot, but as someone in their 30s, it feels like that's not even halfway. So now, what are your future goals or dreams for yourself?
Syempre, yung immediate is yung getting married, forming a family.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Exciting!
I would have never thought that I'm going to be in this stage. Kasi I've only fantasized this for so long. Wala, may mga times na talaga parang tanggap ko na hindi ako magkakaroon ng family, I'll be stuck in limbo, ganun. Then, I'm here. Someone's planning, my fiancé is planning the wedding, the particulars. Then, syempre, yung mga magagawa ko lang is not to get in her way and make sure that she gets her way. Siguro I want to pass on the values that I've learned throughout life. Hopefully that my offspring will do much better than me. In a world that's getting more difficult and harsher by the moment.
I know. I also think about like the next generation, and I worry about just the environment that they're. But I think it's also discovery for us as a generation to like figure that out with them and make sure that the world is.
Yeah, we're going to be pioneers kasi ang daming nangyayaring bago ngayon. Ang daming, we're adapting to it. We're not used to a lot of things. Then, may bagong lalabas, a lot of environmental pressures, di ba?
Well, then that leads me to my next question. How do you plan on, like, I guess, continuing to inspire your offspring or make sure that, they live a good life in this kind of chaotic world? Like, what is something that you think you can do?
Siguro tag dito, authenticity. So you don't have to put up a show eh. Kaya nauso ngayon yung mga terms sa performative di ba? Performative male, performative female, performative ek, di ba? So, to continue inspiring is you have to be authentic. That people see that it is true. Because that will hold anywhere. So, meaning, what I do with my life right now, how I deal with people, I just have to continue doing that. living my life as, living by my decisions, standing up on my own, even my mistakes, including that, hindi lang naman kasi, pag sabi mo inspire people, yung tama, no? I've realized that a lot of other people got inspired by knowing what's wrong and going away from what's wrong, knowing what mistakes are. Ayun lang siguro. I'm going to continue living my life. Of course, trying to improve every day. Actually, ngayon, para sa akin, if you see someone that's struggling to improve, struggling to make ends meet, struggling just to live a good life, that in itself should be enough inspiration kasi nga, ano yan they show up every day. Whether they like it or not, they show up every day. They are still hopeful. Actually, the most hopeful people are the ones who actually have resigned hope, in my opinion. Yeah. Kasi when you're hopeful kasi, yes, you're positive. Hopefully, optimistic ka.
Yeah.
Pero kasi when someone has already resigned, yung medyo may pagka-hopeless, they live day by day. They just trudge through the difficulties. They accept that, alam mo yung mahirap talaga buhay.
Yeah.
Sir, siguro yung may natitirang optimism sa kanila, pero kasi dun mo nakikita yung hope kasi when everything else is already down and you're still showing up, you're still being there, that's the embodiment of hope That's something better will come. Sa totoo lang. Kaya medyo may pagka-ironic nga siya I felt hopeless for quite a while din na something might not improve or baka ito na yun. Sige, just live your life. Just continue doing what's good. Then eventually, opportunities presented itself, umangat ka onte, then tuloy-tuloy lang. So, I think, yeah.
So I guess my question is, what advice would you give to those people who are, like feeling hopeless, who are just going through, the day every day? What advice would you give them, or what would you say to them?
1, get enough sleep, take a bath, try not to skip meals, and get some sunshine and walk.
Why these basic things?
Because it's something that it's something that makes you functional in a way. Because this is what actually keeps you alive. Because I've suffered depression before, and yung feeling na you feel that everything has lost meaning. Di mo akalain yung maligo ka lang sa isang araw makes you feel that you have purpose, na may gagawin ka. It builds up. You get enough sleep so that you get enough energy and so that your body can recover. Yun. Get exercise. Don't skip meals. Kahit kumain ka lang ng onte, basta kumain ka. Will yourself to eat. Kasi, ano yan cycle yan Hindi mo pakainin sarili mo, you'll suffer, consequences dahil nga your body suffering. Tas dumadagdag siya doon sa mental anguish mo. You feel weak. Again, it's compounding. So, if you eat even a little, you don't need to enjoy it. You just need to eat so that your body has energy. Take a little walk outside, magpa-araw ka, magpapawis ka ng onte. That in itself is a purpose. Kasi you're putting meaning to it Okay, sige, papaaraw ako 15 minutes. That 15 minutes afterwards, okay, wow, I did it. Good on me. Dadagdag ko rin, just clean up. So, get enough sleep, take a bath, don't skip meals.
Get out,
take a walk, exercise, have sunlight, clean up. Yung 5 yun. And syempre, if you can, yung pang-anim pinaka-importante is talk to someone who you feel would shed some light sa buhay. Yung 6 na yun basic. So it's not some grand secret na when you're having difficulties, ganito gawin mo.
Yeah.
Go to a temple in Tibet, discover life in Tibet. Just in your room, do those 6 to 7 things. You'll be shocked, you'll be surprised that yung pala yung magpapatibay sa'yo.
I like that. Okay, we're now down to our last question. So, if you could share one message with the world, what would it be?
One message. We can be a little kinder to everyone. When you're kind to everyone, just a little bit, say you never know what they're going through the day. Baka mamaya, yung sinungitan mo ngayon, maybe that was actually the last straw. Baka mamaya, they might do something rash, something violent that they would regret. Other people would also regret. So, maybe just be a little kind. Though, kahit nga minsan niya mahirap gawin though. In itself, just be a little kinder today.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, TJ, for this wonderful interview. And we can't wait to hear more about what you're up to. I know that you have a wedding coming up and everything, so we wish you a lot of good energy towards that.